for today, we are going to look at graphing linear equations. Now, this is one that's going to might be a little bit tough. What I'll do is I'm going to email you guys a piece of graphing paper. If you have a printer and you want to print it out to do your work on, to make it a little easier, that's fine. You do not need one. You can draw your own graph. I don't have any really big numbers, so it doesn't really go past 6 on any axis, so that'll be all right. But I will. I won't email it. I'll just put it on Canvas. I'll put a piece of graphing paper, so you have that, and you can print it off if you want to help yourself. All right, so graphing linear equations. We're going to look at graphing 2 different ways. The first one we're going to look at today. This will be using our input-output charts, and then I'll show you a different way. I want to show that other way to you in person. Okay, so let's just remember back. Probably in 7th grade you learned this, maybe even earlier. How do you put points on a graph? Okay, so a point is listed as XY. It's called an ordered pair. And your X comes first, your Y comes second. Your X is your horizontal movement, because this is your X-axis that goes left and right. And then Y is your vertical movement. This is your Y-axis that goes up and down. So let's just graph a couple points to remember how exactly we do that. All right, so first off, I have the point 2, 4. So if I have the point 2, 4, X is first. I need to come out to 2, and then I go up to 4. So it's 2 to the right, 4 up. Right 2, up 4, and then put a point. So this would be the point 2, 4. That's the first one listed there. Okay. Second one, 5, negative 2. So that means I'm going 5 to the right and down 2. So 5 right, down 2. That would be my point. And you wouldn't have to label these. Typically, if you're graphing a point, you can just draw the point. I'm putting the point on here so you know which one goes with which one. Okay. Third one, negative 3, 0. So that means we are minus 3 to the left and 0 up and down. So I always start here at 0, 0. I'm going 3 left, and I'm not going up or down at all. So that's my point. That point would be negative 3, 0. And lastly, we have negative 5, negative 3. So it's 5 to the left, which is our minus direction. And we are down 3 then, which is our minus direction vertically. So 5 left, down 3. Here would be our point, negative 5, negative 3. You guys all remember graphing points like that? Give me a thumbs up if you remember that. There's 1. All right, we got 1.
Thank you, Jocelyn.
There's 2. We got a double thumbs up.
3.
There we go. All right, feel like an auctioneer. I got 3. Can I get 4? I got 3. Can I get 4? 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4.
Buckley, are you alive? I'm alive.
All right, you remember this?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So how are we going to use this to graph a linear function? Okay. Well, here's going to be our process. So if we want to graph a linear equation by using a chart, what we want to do, we want to create an input-output chart for the given linear equation. Now, here is a requirement. You have to use 3 points. And for your 3 points, you want to use 1 negative number, 1 positive number, and 0. And I'm going to give you a hint of it's going to be up to you what negative and positive numbers you use most times. And I'm just going to give you a hint. Use easy numbers. Use 1. Use 2. Use stuff like that. Because if you use a 13, yeah, you're still going to be fine, but that means you have to graph it the whole way out to 13. All right, so use easy numbers. 1, 2, something like that. So maybe use 1 and negative 1 or 2 and negative 2, those types of things. All right, so then you're going to plug those in to make your input-output chart. Then you're going to graph those 3 points, and then you just connect the dots. Now, I also want you to remember that a line is infinite, so you don't just want to connect the 3 dots and stop. Your line has to go all through all 3 dots. All right, then just put a little arrow on the end. And lastly, if your points do not make a straight line, something's wrong. Whether maybe you added wrong, subtracted wrong, something like that. So if it does not make a straight line, then something's up. So you need to go back and check yourself. These are all going to be linear functions. So a linear function has to be a straight line. Okay. So let's try this out. If you're taking notes and I'm going too fast, the nice part is this video will be up and you can go back through and miss it. So if you missed it. So let's look at some examples. All right, so first one, we want to graph the following equation. Y equals 2x minus 3. All right, so I need to pick 3 points. I need a positive, I need a negative, and I need 0. So I'm just going to go super simple, and there's nothing wrong with this. I'm going to go -1, +1. And you could do that basically every time if you really wanted to. I'll mix it up a little bit. But 0 always has to be there. Then we need a negative number. We need a positive number. All right, so if I want to fill out my input-output chart, now I'm going to have 2 times -1 minus 3. 2 times -1 is going to be -2. -2 and -3 is going to be -5. All right, next one. 2 times 0 minus 3. 2 times 0 is going to be 0. 0 minus 3 is going to be -3. And then the last one. 2 times 1 minus 3. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 minus 3 is going to be -1. So what I actually created for myself was I have an x, I have a y. Okay? So now I have the points. I'm just going to write it over here on the graph. So I have the points -1, -5. I have the point 0, -3. And I have the point 1, -1. And all I just did, I paired up the x and y on this line, the x and y on this line, and the x and y on this line. Okay, so now let's graph those points. First one, -1, -5. So I'm left 1 and down 5. It goes right there. All right, then 0, -3. So I'm not right and left at all, but I'm down 3. That would be that point. And then the last one is 1, -1. 1 to the right and down 1. It would go right there. So I got my 3 points now. Look like they make a straight line. Let's go ahead and connect the dots and see what I was saying about. I went the whole way through them, put an arrow on both lines. That would be my line. That is the graph of the function y equals 2x minus 3. All right. Hopefully you can draw it a little bit straighter than me. I gotta fix that. That's driving me nuts. Oh, that's not a whole lot better. All right, good enough. So there would be that line. Any questions on that one, guys? Crickets. We're going to take that as a good thing. All right. All right, let's look at another one. Now, again, I told you guys you can put any numbers in. All right, this one's a little bit tricky because this one is -1/2 x. All right. So when I get a fraction, I know you guys all just love fractions. I'm just going to give you a little trick. If you have a fraction beside your x, pick whatever number is on the bottom as your positive and negative. So this fraction here is 1/2, so I have a 2 on the bottom. So because I have a 2 on the bottom, I'm going to use a -2 and a +2. It's going to make it a whole lot easier on me. It's going to give me whole numbers, I promise you. Just a little trick. All right. So if we do this guy, we have negative 1/2 times 2 minus 1. Negative 1/2 times 2. What's that?
1.
Oh, plus 1.
King graph
I got
in
you.
the middle. Your equation in the middle. There you go.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right. So negative 1/2 times 2 is going to be negative 1. And then I have negative 1 plus 1 is going to be 0. Second one, negative 1/2 times 0. Oh, this should be a negative 2. Sorry. Holy cow, I'm messing up all over the place on this one. I put in a negative 2, not a positive 2. All right, that's going to make this.
Rocky.
All right, so negative 2 and negative 1/2 is going to be a positive 1, so 1 plus 1 is going to be 2. That looks better. Second one, I put a 0 in. 0 times 1/2 is just going to be 0. 0 times anything is 0. Plus 1 is going to be 1. And then lastly, negative 1/2 times 2 plus 1. So negative 1/2 times 2 is going to be negative 1. Plus 1 is going to be 0. There we go. That looks a lot better. Now we can graph each one of those points. The first point is going to be negative 2 and positive 2. So I have to go 2 to the left and 2 up. That would be right there. Second one is going to be at 0, 1. So I don't go left or right at all. I just go up 1. It goes right there. And then lastly, I have 2, 0. So 2 to the right, not up and down. Looks like that. Looks like I'm going to have a straight line. Ooh. And there's my line. All right, questions on that one, guys? Any questions? All right. So I'll give you a nice, easy one. Let's do this one. I'm going to give you guys, you don't need a full 4 minutes. Let's go 2 minutes. I'll make it 3. All right. So I'm going to give you 3 minutes. I want you guys to fill out this input-output chart and graph your line. All right. I got to step away for a minute. My dog's got to go outside. Go.
You can hook the dog somewhere, Thomas. It's that fast.
Oh, took him out and he went to the bathroom. We're good. It's amazing. If I'm at school, he can go 8 hours and has no problem. As soon as I'm home, well, we got to go to the bathroom every hour and a half.
I can relate.
Go, lay down, lay down. It's too much togetherness time, you know. Alrighty. So let's see. Noah Houck. What points did you pick to put in for your X?
I did 4, -3, and 6.
All right.
Or did I?
Uh, 4 and -3. I like those two. So we'll use those two. All right. 4 and -3. You just have to make sure you have a 0 in there. All right.
Oh yeah, okay. I forgot the 0.
Yep.
So I'll exchange for the 6.
Yep, that works. So we'll use your numbers -3, 0, and or -3 and 4. We just got to make sure we have a 0 in there. All right. So let's try this out. Y equals -x plus 2. All right, so I plug in a -3. I have -3 plus 2, and it's a negative in front of it. So two negatives make a positive. So I have 3 plus 2, which is 5. Next one, I have a negative. I plug in a 0. Be careful with that negative in front of the x, guys. So we have a 0 and then a 2. So that's just going to be 2. And the last one, I have a negative. Plug a 4 in. So I have -4 plus 2, which is going to be -2. All right. So I graph these points, -3 and 5. So I need to go left 3 and up 5. It's going to be right there. I have a 0, so don't go left and right, but I have to go up 2. And then lastly, we went 4 to the right and down 2. Looks like that. Now, if you look at it, before I was doing like 2 and 1, so they were all consistently apart. This one here, he picked a -3 and a +4, which was fine. They're spaced out, but I still have a straight line. So that one looks pretty good. I like that guy. All right. One more for the day. I'm going to give you this one. Y equals 3x minus 1. And I'm going to suggest I wouldn't use anything bigger than a 2. All right? And we got to have a 0. So I'll give you we'll go another 3 minutes. I want you to graph this guy, fill out your input-output chart, and graph this guy. Let's go ahead.
Stop.
All right, time's up. So here's what I want you to do on this one. Everybody, turn your camera on. Show me your graph. How about that? Turn your camera on. Hold the picture of your graph up to the camera. Let's see who did it.
I got very mad and couldn't figure out how to graph it, so I gave up and just didn't.
Did you have something? Oh, okay. We got somebody.
No,
Who's that? Noah? All right. Good job, Noah.
Messed up on my graph, but
Okay. Deval got us something there. All right. Anybody else?
Yeah.
I think some people were not graphing there, Mrs. Grebe.
I think they were taking little naps.
Yeah. All right. So we're about out of time. So I'm just going to plug a couple points in real quick. I'm going to use -1 and 1. So if I put a -1 in, 3 times -1 is -3. -3 minus 1 is going to be -4. Plug a 0 in. I'm going to get -1 out. Plug a 1 in. I get 3 times 1 is 3, minus 1 is 2. Then I have the points -1, -4. So 1 left, down 4. Second one is 0 left and right, down 1. And then up 1 over 2. Uh-oh, did I do something wrong? -1, -3, -4, good. 0, -1. 3 times 1 is 3, minus
That's weird.
-1, -4.
1 up 2. Your point's wrong.
Oh, yep, yeah, it is. Good call. There we go. Now I got my straight. Oh, I even drew a straight line that time. All right. Any questions, guys, on anything? All right, I put up a homework assignment right now. It is 4-4 homework. There's going to be some practice on that. That will be due on Wednesday. Jenna, if you started early, I expect you to answer all my questions with me tomorrow. All right?
I have someone who wants to say something.